Be aware that in this video you will hear very British things. What about fish and chips? How do you find fish and chips? You must have had fish and chips. Very American things.
So I never really got into the tabletop until I worked at a Dairy Queen.
What is a Dairy Queen? Bricky learned something shocking, if you look at it.
Oh no!
But with extensive amounts of simultaneous politeness.
I was about to ask you the exact same question because I know yours is longer than me.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Interspersed with threats of violence.
Like, I'm just not going to talk or do this. I'm going to go murder.
I'm going to do a kill. But we start with kindness. Are you comfy? Have you got water? You're prepped?
Oh yeah. I got my I got my water. Well, it's coffee, but you know.
I've got tea.
The cultural differences are already starting.
I know. Let's begin. If you don't know me, I am the infiltrating, alien-hating, miracle-creating, legends-loving, wargaming vampire, Christian Von Carmian. Welcome back to the Christian Von Carmian channel. I am the 40k Vtuber, the Vtuber that knows about and talks about the Warhammer 40,000 tabletop game. With me is Bricky, who, unless you were recommended this video because you are subscribed to Bricky, you may not know.
No, without a doubt.
I mentioned you to a couple of people about, oh yeah, I'm going to get Bricky on the channel. Like, your bricklayer is going to be on your YouTube channel? I don't understand.
Yeah, is he like a guy who works in a trade? Does he assist with like the lawn? You know.
Oh well, in England, a Bricky is just like your person who puts the bricks together.
Is that actually a phrase?
Oh yeah. It's like the local Bricky. It means you're a bricklayer or builder.
We don't have. I don't think that's ever been said once in the States.
Wow.
At least not to anyone from me. Though I do know there is an Australian company that sells a Bricky, which is their item to help you lay bricks better.
There you go, and that's how he came into being. Well, today we'll be learning a bit more about Bricky and also myself. We'll be going through a potted history of how we got into 40k, how we both ended up playing Sisters, how we both ended up playing Genestealer Cult, and how now we're both going to be playing Deathwatch.
Or at least working through it, definitely.
Yeah, so this is as much a Christian Von Carmian video as it is a Bricky video.
I mean, we share the spotlight in this kind of stuff. It's a conversation after all. I also see that there are UK related questions on the list, and these are very important.
Well, absolutely. You have now been to the UK.
I've been to a lot of the UK. I went to like 6-7 different cities in the UK. I had a nice little tour. I didn't go to Scotland area though, but I was all like nowhere higher than Nottingham. But it was fun.
So you stayed in the south.
About it. Yes, for the most part. The most part, yeah.
Good. I don't know if you'll ever recover from being associated constantly with VTubers. I have to say, so some people have said, you two have never been in the same room together. We know that Bricky, likes VTubers, gets associated with VTubers, and yet he knows a lot about 40k. And there's Christian, who is a VTuber and knows a lot about 40k, yet never in the same room.
It's true. I mean, putting on the accent is very difficult sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I slip back into my native SoCal tongue, unfortunately, and get the Valley Girl drawl. But no, it is true. I mean, the VTuber thing is very goofy because I just kind of like fell into it. A couple people over, a million curses upon their name, VShojo.
Yep.
Had Project Melody originally mentions about watching some of the stuff, and then MatarCon did as well, and then did some collabs, and then from there I just kind of got dragged by my heel through basically everyone else, and I don't know, that VTubers love to collab. You yourself love to collab with people, and I just you need a spot to fill. If you have 3 out of 4 people and you just need a 4th person, I just kind of get picked out. And
just like Bricky, he should be available. Get him, right?
Yeah, he doesn't do much. I'm sure he'll play Helldivers for 2 hours. He'll be fine.
And you've introduced a lot of VTuber fans to 40k, whereas I'm rather the opposite. I introduced 40k players into VTubers, more the hole that other people come into to get into the VTubing scene.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm not 100% sure what the defining like thread is between the VTubers and 40k. It could be just that a lot of I know a lot of VTubers do reaction content. That's a very big thing, and I know like a lot of the 40k videos that I made in the past got reacted to a lot. So hey, it's fine. It works out. It's very easy when you have a green screened model, so to speak, to watch the stuff. But
I actually found it rather difficult to do React content well. I'd slightly look down on people being like, all you have to do is sit there and go, wow, that's interesting. But the problem with your videos is every now and then I would pause it and say, okay, that was only 95% correct. Here's the extra 5%. And keep going.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's the tough part when you try to make like a really condensed version.
There's a lot to cut out and like lies to children sort of thing. This is
pretty much
enough. It'll get you by until you know more.
Yes, I like people have people say things like, "Oh, Dante wants to die," and it's like, he did, and then he didn't, and now he's a lot better, but he's still a bit depressed, and it's like it's a whole thing. But when you say the quick version, you don't have to spend an hour talking about Dante and the devastation of all.
Yeah, I have made a list of like all of the memes that are incorrect, and at some point I plan to go through like every single meme, maybe again as a collab with someone who's pretty new to 40k. See if they know the meme, see if I can explain it, how the meme works, and then how it actually is. Because we're talking about a fictional universe with a lot of authors and codexes and decades of lore. What is canon and not is very flexible.
It's very flexible. The fact that they're different authors does not help. I mean, The Emperor was written by 30 different people, and it shows.
Yeah,
it becomes very difficult to deal with. But I mean, hell, even myself, you know, like 5+ years ago, I made that first video, and I personally like. I mean, I like the fact that I did it. I felt really excited about it, but like, I don't love it. You know, and maybe that's just because you look back at anything you've ever made and you always like kind of cringe at it because that's just human nature.
Yeah, we also cringe about the things you did 5 years ago. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it easy. And then you kind of just like, oh, hey, fun, casual fan. Like, I like this universe. I'll make a fun video about it. And I didn't expect it to become what it was. And I almost kind of feel like it's unfair because I'm like, I didn't expect it to be this. I wanted to make this fun thing for my channel and like let it be. And I never really wanted it to be.
And now it's your
like,
personality.
The thing. Yeah. And then when it becomes the thing, it gets like scrutinized a hell of a lot more than I would like it to be. And if I knew that, I would have done some more fact checking.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about me.
How long have you been playing 40k?
I was about to ask you the exact same question because I know yours is longer than me.
So I've been playing since 2nd edition. That's what everyone knows about me. Oh yes, Christian Von Carmian. He's been playing 40k since 2nd edition.
I mean, 2nd edition is very long ago.
It's been a while.
It is a time. The what was your first army? Out of curiosity.
Oh well. So I told my dad that after we played Space Crusade, which is a board game you may not know.
I do know Space Crusade.
Good.
Never played it, but I am familiar with it.
Oh, it's absolutely great fun. So I told my dad, I want some Chaos Space Marines. And he was like, Space Marines. Got it. You play the yellow ones when we play Space Crusade. Here's some Imperial Fists. And so Imperial Fists became my first army. Then I got Chaos Space Marines. And then very quickly got some Battle Sisters because Battle Sisters had just come out. They were in metal. They were amazing. We're talking 1997, 1998. Great models.
The metal models, yeah. The old Canoness and stuff. It was.
I don't have the Canoness, but I have a lot of the other models. I think all of the other models that were actually produced. And then I also got Imperial Guard because Praetorians were there. And I'd got into the film Zulu.
Oh my God, Praetorians. Oh my Lord.
This was when they were the resculpt of the Mordian model, so we're talking pith helmets and red jackets, the battle for Glazer's Creek.
I mean, Praetorians are like, I mean, you might as well tell me that you got some Necron Pariahs as well, if we're going to go back that far.
Hey, Necron Pariahs were 3rd edition, so this is even earlier.
Yeah, that is true.
I remember Necron Raiders, when Necron Raiders were like, there was a Lord, Immortals, Warriors, a Destroyer, which was their flyer, and Scarabs, which were individual Scarab models without a base.
Yes, I remember some of those from back when, only because to kind of springboard off of that, I first had my introduction with 40k from Dawn of War, way back when.
So that'd be 2004, 2005?
I think it was 4, yeah. And I remember, because I played it at like a game shack, like a PC cafe over by me, and for some reason, I was really big into RTS as a young kid, like Brood War, Command and Conquer. Kane's Wrath is like my favorite RTS of all time.
You like your video games, I know.
I do like a lot of games. I don't know why. Every genre appeals to me to some extent. But those were the big ones then. So Dawn of War was that one. And so, of course, back then, I actually just recently played the remastered, and just seeing the Necron Pariahs and some of the older models. It's very interesting to see how it's changed so extensively over time, you know? Because like it's a cute little like time capsule in a way.
There was the big Necron lore rework after that, which was probably the big change to them. And then they got their big range refresh about 5th edition, and then another one in 9th edition.
I'm very happy with their 9th edition refresh. I think
they look quite nice. I like the zombified warriors.
Yeah, I really like that. They're going with the Tomb King thing a little bit more. They're really going with like the waking up dementia, decrepit.
I think they're maybe going too much like Tomb Kings, because I know we have Tomb Kings. We don't need Tomb Kings Mark II.
No, but they do look pretty sick.
Yes.
If they get a giant Necron overlord the size of the Silent Kid called Nagak, then we can say it's going too far. But no, so that was where I kind of started off with it. I played Space Marine on the Xbox, of course. From there, I started the tabletop in 7th. So I never really got into the tabletop until I worked at a Dairy Queen, and my manager was really into it, and he got me into it. So my first. Oh, right. Sorry. Dairy Queen is a fast food joint.
Right. Okay.
Chain.
I was expecting something different, but yeah, that makes sense.
No, it's ice cream. Lots of ice cream.
Okay, they sell ice cream.
Yeah, Dairy Queen. That's why it's called that. For those people who are watching who ever worked at a Dairy Queen, they do the thing where you have to hold like a blizzard, which is like a blended ice cream, and they had to like turn it upside down and in front of you to show that it's like really packed in there really well and like full of ingredients. We didn't have to do that back in the day, which is nice because sometimes people would do that and it just like falls right out, and it's very unfortunate.
Okay.
But no, I used to work at a Dairy Queen, and so I got into that. The two guys that worked with me, they played Necrons and Eldar in 7th, and I started off with Grey Knights.
Do you still have them? Have you kept them, or?
I have a couple, yeah. They've kind of like scattered throughout the years, but I do still have some of them. God, that paint is thick. That paint is so chunky.
Yeah, the early ones can be like that. And you're like, oh, well, I just thought more paint. Well, I was painting yellow right at the start, Imperial Fists. On a base coat, it's like, I need to put on just lots of yellow at once, otherwise it'll go thin, and then it looks green.
Yes. But I liked them a lot, because I was like, oh, all these Space Marines are psychers, yippee. And then I kind of fell off of it for a while, and then I came back tail end of 8th, and I came back with Guard. And then Sisters had that big range refresh kind of the end of 8th.
That was 2019.
Yes, and I was very, very happy with that refresh, because I've always found Sisters to be kind of interesting, because I liked the dichotomy and the juxtaposition of them all being these like kind of nuns, but them also, along with the ecclesiarchy, having some of the most disgusting looking models in the Imperium.
Right, yeah.
You know, like just like the Repentia and all of their torture devices and like the penitent engines.
Mm-hmm. It's the extreme Catholicism.
Yeah, it's neat to see like what was originally, you know, kind of much more she-breasted boobily down the stairs kind of looking.
Yes.
And swapping that to be a lot more like, I mean, you've seen some of the artwork of the Sisters. They look disgusting, and it's very cool.
They've gone from pretty ladies to, okay, all of them need scars all of the time. You have to be missing an eye. And making the models, I'm making a Dominion squad where everyone has to have something. So you got the jaw plate sister, you got the one eye sister, you got the scar through her face sister. I converted
metal
the
arm.
Canoness from the combat patrol with the top half of a Dominion, so you have metal leg sister.
That's awesome, because then you also that's very Valorous heart coded too, right?
It can be, yeah. You want to do that like the wrist more than anything, and the hand, if you want to be true Valorous heart.
I mean, sure, but they are so into, you know, like bombing. It's kind of Iron Warriors-y, bombing.
Yeah, I was going to say,
in.
You don't want to become just Iron Warriors, but girls.
And that's kind of because Morven Vol is from Argent Shroud.
It's great when you've got a leader. It's like, do an inspiring speech. No. Okay, we're going to get them.
I love that I love how the ecclesiarchy decided to put, or the Highlanders decided to put like Morven Vol in charge in a way to try to like manipulate her. And she's like, cool guys, I'm going to go on a crusade. See ya. I especially like, why would you put an Argent Shroud sister in? Like, it's...
I can't imagine any that would be manipulatable.
No, but I like, you picking the one that doesn't speak is just hilarious to me as a concept.
Well, it's the idea of politics. Politics is all about speaking. She doesn't speak much. Therefore, she should be easy to control. She'll only say things occasionally, and occasionally she'll say the things we want. And then she's like, I'm going to do a kill.
Yeah, she doesn't do politics. She's just like, I'm just not going to talk or do this. I'm going to go murder. And there's it's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, obviously Valorous Heart with all their like big facial scars and missing stuff. So
was that your order of choice when you painted your models?
No, I did Sacred Rose. I liked Sacred Rose a lot. I liked them a lot for their rules in 8th. No, actually, sorry, for 9th. Because I really liked the manipulation of miracle dice.
Yep. I know, because I play Sacred Rose.
Yeah, it's great. It's great stuff. They're really fun. They had some really neat relics and stuff back then. They had like fancy brazier.
They were the one that actually had a fall back and shoot and things in 9th edition, which was relatively rare compared to like 10th edition where everyone has it.
Yeah, I feel like every detachment, they just staple on fall back and shoot too.
Yeah. Or fall back and charge sometimes. Sometimes it's fall back and charge. It's not always the same. Or both.
Or your Emperor's Children, and you just get everything. Which is always fun. Granted, have you played Emperor's Children?
I have played them a couple of times since the Codex came out, although not since the update. The Flawless Blades were funny because they started stabbing my Shadow Sword and like, we're going to wound you on a 3+, but one of us will die every turn. But we'll keep wounding the Shadow Sword on a 3+.
I played a couple games of Emperor's Children, and this is very obvious sounding, but like it's army-wide fallback shoot and charge and advanced shoot and charge. It's such a drug. Once you do that, it's so hard to go back.
That's our first armies. We've got to it now. Is Guard still your favorite army?
It's always tough. I don't know if you're the same way. I feel like the favorite army swaps just depending on lots of factors, and it's like a little rotation.
Yeah, I mean, mine changes like every month as to what I'm really into.
Yeah, so like for a while it was Sisters, for a while it was Guard, for a while I was doing Night Lords, and I was just doing CSM, and it just kind of does that thing every so often. But I think I'll always go back to Guard because it's kind of like my Zen army. Whenever I play Guard, I run like a very classic combined arms or something of that nature, and I never have had a more enjoyable time than just saying, okay, Catachin and the Chimera have jumped out. All right. There's a Forge Fiend. Chimera needs an 11-inch charge. Whatever, man. And I just start throwing dice. And, like, oh, how many attacks does Angron have? 18? Got like
Here's 20 guardsmen. I know you're not going to get through them all.
Yeah, like, all right, hold him back. It's just, I don't know. Like, there's a certain level of kiddie energy that comes in the chess playing Guard, of just being able to like drown them in your dead, or here's 77 dice from 3 Rogel Dorns, or just
and
stuff
this is
like
how
that.
I play Chaos Space Marines. They're a good. I don't need to think about it. I've played them for so long. I know all their tricks. Chaos cultists go in, and I'll drown you in some bodies while the Chosen actually do some work.
Did you see Liam's list that he just won?
No. I haven't looked at the Grand Tournament results.
Okay, I forget what it was, the tournament there. The LGT, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, London Grand Tournament.
Yes, his list, I love it. It's such a dad's garage list. It's a Veterans of the Long War list with 2 rhinos. Oh, you did see it? I
did see which detachment he was using. I didn't go through the list and be like, I know what these units are going to do in particular places.
Oh, I mean, I don't know about that either, but it's just the fact that it was like 2 Chaos Predators, 2x2 Obliterators, 6 Noise Marines, 10 Chosen, Bile, 10 Warp Talons, Legionnaires, Lord, Cypher. It was just like the shit you find in your
Those
back
are all from
trunk.
like 4th edition, and now they're on the table together.
It was awesome. I love to see it. It was so fun. Nothing overly like, it's not like triple Ghost Arc or Doomsday Arcs.
It's not. This is a good thing, so let's do it lots. Or this is the one stratagem that's great, so we'll do it over and over. Nice.
Yes, I mean, I feel like that list could have been played 15 years ago, and still, done fine. It was great to see. But no, I get what you mean. Like once you know your army by like the back of your hand, that's for me with Guard. You just kind of like, I want to have a good time, so I'm picking my good time army. Sisters, I play a lot because I want to win. Not because I want to win, but I want to like.
That's a bit more competitively. You can aim more for a win with it.
The only problem with Sisters is after a tournament, I have a raging headache because I'm just like
tracking all the miracle dice and everything to do in the command phase.
all the rules, all the various interactions. No, the hospitaller does not get a 5-up feel no pain. It's only when she's leading a unit.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
So do you go to tournaments relatively often? Like the ones that are open to public?
Generally like about once a month, once every 2 months.
Oh, okay.
A couple RTTs here and there. The tournament scene varies depending on location, definitely.
Yeah, you won't get much on like Northern Australia. There'll be one tournament a year.
Yes, and also like the kind of people that are in it are also very different. In Southern California specifically, it's very laid back. It's very chill. When I went to a 150 person tournament when Knights and Death Guard were at their top, and they made up only about and they only made about 10% of the entire tournament population.
Nice.
Like both Imperial Chaos and Death Guard were like 10 to 12% of the whole player base. Like no one really tries the meta chase. They pick their favorite stuff and they just like play their heart out, which I think is really fun.
Diverse even where I am. When Mordaka was out, there was something like half of the lists in the tournament were Mordaka. Then I went to a different one more recently, and people are just taking the Combat Patrol magazine. Are you aware of Hachette's Combat Patrol magazine that gets sold in the UK? Going to be rolled out to US as well. So Eldar was the most recent one. So about a third of the people there just had new Eldar armies and wanted to play it. So it can vary.
I have the Combat Patrol magazines, actually. They do come to my... I think just recently it was Wind Riders that just came out with them or something.
Yeah, could be for you. We're looking to Genestealer Cult coming out in the next couple of weeks, or we're finishing off Votan.
Okay.
So it's going to be different in the US compared to the UK. But yeah, if you've just got Wind Riders, then you may have had the Wraith Lord and
that was right before that one. Yep.
Yeah. So everyone has 3 Wraith Lords now around me.
Well, that is a pretty good unit. I won't lie.
It was a nice discount kit for £10 for one model. Well, that size model.
I mean, I will say that's probably one of the best deals they've done is that little magazine. They got you a bunch of Terminators, a bunch of little Tyranids and stuff. It's nice. I like it. But no, I do play a decent amount. I mean, I like tournaments because I find it as a fun social setting. I never particularly try really, really hard in the sense that I'm trying to like go for any kind of podium spots. The best I've ever done is 4-2. Like the last one I played was probably the closest. I played Host of Ascension GSC.
Ooh, yeah.
And I lost 1,000 Suns by like 3 points and Knights by like 5 points. Those are my only 2 losses. So it was definitely like I was gunning for. I was trying to get a 5-1 for the first time, but didn't quite make it. But yeah, I mean yourself. I mean, do you play a ton of tournaments normally?
Well, I do.
Or?
I've done tournaments quite a few. I did. I was in like July. I went to 3 or 4 tournaments. So it was like every weekend was a tournament. At least one of them was a Warhammer Fantasy tournament. So I got a change from just Relentless 40k. So that kind of burned me out for a bit, and so I haven't gone to the London Grand Tournament. Then the problem I have is not all of my models are Games Workshop models. I'm a wargamer more than a Games Workshop fan. Most of it is going to be 40k stuff, but if someone says, hey, what's that? And I try to explain Robotech or War Machine, sometimes it's like, the thing that looks like a Sentinel is a Sentinel. But if it's like, no, we do strict Games Workshop things here, which is usually how the bigger tournaments are, then, hey, I've got 1 Ridge Runner in my Genestealer Cult army, which is not a good number of Ridge Runners.
Really? Okay, that's fascinating, because down here, nobody ever cares. I had someone with a Greater Brass Scorpion that was made out of a Warlord Titan's hand, like an Addams Family thing.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
Like I see people with like Khorne Lord of Skulls. That's just this, like it was a Slaneshi rock band with a bunch of Noise Marines. Like they just tear it up. No one much, so long as it's on the right base and it's obvious, nobody seems to care. I will be honest. I imagine maybe 60% of my local scene is either 3D printed or proxied.
Okay. It depends how far you go with the proxy. If it's like, oh yeah, you obviously bought this from someone else, another game system, so you're playing a different Wargamer's pieces here, and it's maybe it's happening at Nottingham. Nottingham especially, you cannot go to Nottingham Games Workshop and be like, I'm going to play with these models.
No, definitely. I mean, I've never had a time where the proxies made me confused. So I
Yeah.
think everyone just kind of has that same mental thing.
It just
of like,
depends if
yeah,
it's
these
a
are
tournament sponsored by Games Workshop or in some way involved with Games
Yeah.
Workshop, and so they have in the rules, we expect you to use Games Workshop models.
Interesting. Okay. Because I definitely have fought Battletech Sentinels before.
Nice.
And
nice.
I don't mind it. Like, it's fine. That's an armored Sentinel, and he had these big old like missile launchers on the shoulder pads.
I mean,
and
once
like,
I say,
cool.
Once I put the model down and I say, this is my Ridge Runner, people think that is a Ridge Runner. It's just got spider legs instead of wheels.
It's a little bizarre that the Ridge Runner's on a base, too. You would think it would just be chilling by itself.
Then the Orc ones are also on bases, aren't they?
Yeah, all the
vehicles now.
buggies.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of the
strange.
vehicles they're making, they do come on bases now, apart from, I can't even think of a new vehicle they've done in ages.
No, I mean, don't all the Space Marine repulsors and stuff come on bases too?
Yeah,
technically,
yeah. I think they all do. Otherwise, how do you have them fly?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I know they added a base size for the Defiler recently.
Yeah, which
is
is
this
a dinner plate.
Enormous.
You have to bring a dinner plate.
It's gigantic. I mean, I own like 3 Bane blades, and even that feels easier to move than that thing. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. My tinfoil hat theory right now. Lord Solar reserving like 2 separate Bane blades, bring them in on the side, use them to move block, to just close off entire sections of the map.
Could, as long as there's nothing with fly or up and down or any stratagems like that, or they have to go through it. Yeah.
No, you run a recon element. You take a 20 man of Catachin or whatever, and then use the stratagem for 12-inch no deep strike. Bada bing, bada boom.
You want to go with Catachans rather than Krieg? Because Krieg we do pretty well as a 20 blob.
The cheaper.
Okay, slightly. Okay, if that's the purpose, then yeah. I was thinking.
Yeah, the purpose is
you take one casualty, you get +1 to hit.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we're taking 2 Bane blades here, okay?
Okay.
We're 1 expensive and 2 not trying too hard.
I'm more of a Shadow Sword person, which is cheaper, 410 points rather than like 450. Big cannon, big goodbye cannon.
I mean, it's big, scary, like a volcano cannon, but it also D3 +1 shots.
Yeah, so I'm going to get 2 shots. One of them will hit, and then it's damage 12, which is going to kill all but a Land Raider in one go.
And a Lehman Russ, 1 wound.
Okay, yeah, 13 wounds.
The Lehman Russ tank being T11 and 13 wounds with a 2-up save is a monstrous profile. Just like, it is disgusting because you can't threshold it with 2 damage the way you wanted to. You can't do it with 3 damage the way you wanted to, or 4 damage. And the T11 means all that strength 10 doesn't work. It's so mean.
It's just right. I think it's just right for a Lehman Russ. Otherwise, you're going back to like armor facings, which is something they don't want to do, but could in some way implement. And then you've got 14 on the front, and you can't really hurt it. 13 on the sides, and 10 at the rear.
Yeah. I will say, I do occasionally hear people be like, they want to, I mean, obviously 10th edition, as I'm sure you probably would agree, many people believe is more streamlined and balanced, but lacks a lot of the flavor and fun of 7th or of 8th and 9th.
Yeah, I think it's a good addition.
Yeah.
A lot of the flavor was, and now there's a pile of extra rules you need to remember. That was my problem with 9th edition.
That is true. It's a very
40 stratagems.
Yes, it's difficult because I think. Do you play Magic much?
No, never.
Okay, so the Magic cards for 40K are very good in the sense that they are very flavorful, more than the rules of the tabletop are, which is very bizarre. For example, one of my favorite commanders that you can run in Magic is Commissar Severina Rain.
Yeah.
And her rule, she has 2 rules. The first one is lead from the front, which is when she attacks, all other units that are attacking with you, you deal damage equal to the number of things with you to everyone.
Right.
So it's like if you attack with like 20 guardsmen, you just deal 20 damage to everyone. But her other rule is you spend 2 mana and you kill one of your guys to gain 2 life and draw a card. So she summary executions as many people as she does.
I get it.
That's way more flavorful than the Commissar in the rules does, right, in the tabletop.
I haven't been very happy with Guard this edition. right from the start when it was, okay, a squad of guardsmen is basically a platoon. Your squad is 25 strong if you want them to operate as anything other than action people. And then it's moved more into, with the detachments, I cannot find a detachment that works well for me. I can do combined arms, I could do pure infantry, but neither of them work perfectly. Are they entirely lacking fallback and shoot, which we think is...
They are.
Standard?
They are.
Yeah. So that is a bit of a problem.
See, because in 9th edition, granted, Guard's rules below to 9th edition was rough.
And they only got a codex in January before being replaced in April.
Yeah, well, that was also that part too, right? But like 3 separate tables for orders was rough.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that that we don't have a fallback... So no, they do have fallback and shoot. It's the Cadian Castellan, which you'll never take because he's way too expensive.
Yes, yes. I have used one with Kazakin like 1 or 2 times. It's like, oh, okay, this can work. This is okay. But that's the only place.
I mean, he gives you sustain 1 and fallback and shoot, which, like, on last guns, you know,
it's more to use orders. But yes,
yeah, because he does give 2 orders.
Yes,
that is true. The main thing for me is the fact that, like, because back in 9th they had a fallback and shoot order, and I feel like that wouldn't actually be that bad of a call in 10th, because then you'd be losing out on 1st rank, 2nd rank, take aim, etc. Like, you have to use that order, right? And then you have to have the order there. So I don't know. I don't think it's the worst call. I would like a few more orders. I think that there's more flexibility that's available there that we don't quite have.
And then a lot of the Imperial Guard stuff went to, well, it didn't go to Legends. It just disappeared, like the infantry squad. Yeah, and 9th edition also got rid of the conscripts and the special weapon squads, and a lot of the units I'd been using since, the year 2000.
Yeah, it's strange because I really feel like the way they did the various... I don't know why they have Krieg, Cadian, and Catachin individualized things. I think it's very bizarre. Yeah,
when it's basically squad of 10 with 2 special weapons or squad of 20 with 2 special weapons. The only thing is the Catachans are limited to flamers, and there's a slightly different special rule. That's about it.
Yeah, and it's not even like a very interesting different special rule. It's very... I don't know. It doesn't hit for me on that side of things. Other things hit. Like, I do enjoy some of the synergies they have. I like that Sentinels have a place, Hellhounds have a place, Dorns have a place. Like, everything, I feel like the internal codex or balance of the codex is mostly pretty okay. Like, everything is usable minus a few things. Yeah. It's just like not usable in a way that I want it to be usable, I guess.
And it's a weird way to describe it. Maybe that's I don't know if they tried too much with flavor, being like, aha, this is exactly how Cadians work. So you got your Cadian specific squad. So what if you have Praetorians or Talon? Then it's, your flavor is not available on the menu today. So you get nothing. Whereas Guard of like 5th edition, you had the Elysians, you had Krieg as bonus Forge World armies with the full roster and a load of extra things, which are at least supported in Legends. I don't know how you feel about Legends.
Legends is weird because okay, so there's how I feel about Legends, and there's the creation of Legends. The creation of Legends feels very much like oh my God, we get it here. There's your rules. Stop crying. That's how it feels like. It's what Games Workshop is saying.
It was a stop saying we're getting rid of your armies. We're not getting rid of your armies. They're still technically playable. And still technically playable is good enough for me when you have, 25, 30-year-old collections with particular units that I can still play with.
It's just, I think the issue I run into with Legends is that if I'm playing Legends with somebody at like a pickup game at LGS, there's always that thing in my head where I ask, why are they running Legends? Because there's 2 reasons. Reason 1, this is a cool thing they like. It's a model they have. They want to run the Legends.
Yep, that's almost always the reason.
Right. Or this Legends happens to have a very good rule that happens to work with a particular synergy that I don't know about.
Not really going to happen in 10th edition, but it could.
Probably not in 10th edition, but there's always like this new rules change for this attachment made this Legends good, right? And so whenever I'm playing with someone, like a friend of mine, it's always the first one. But I feel like if I was to play with a random person, you can run into the weird person at your LGS and they would want to use Legends for that reason.
I don't think that's a problem, though. I think it's going to be about as broken or powerful as anything else in mainline 40k.
Oh, I agree. I just kind of wish they would just remake the dang model, though. Like, why did we lose all the Contemptors and Leviathans from CSM? That really hurt. I was building a bunch of Night Lords ones, and they just yanked them all out. The Decimator as well.
Yeah. I mean, the Sisters of Battle, the Crusader, they made a new Crusader model in Blackstone Fortress a few years ago. It wasn't just the metal ones. We have new Death Cult Assassins pretty recently, including in the Sanctifiers kit. There's a Death Cult Assassin, but you can't take the Death Cult Assassin squad. Except you do, because Legends is fine.
It's bizarre, because it's kind of the rules for thee and not for me type thing, where, like, for Custodians, for example, Custodians need their Forge World. They need it.
Otherwise, they don't have a full roster. They're not a full army.
No, they just don't. I mean, the Caladius tank is lifting up Custodians by a huge margin. But then you look at the Drakari Codex, and it's just, like, I have no clue why they got rid of Grotesques. I know it's because it's resin, but it's just, that is a staple Commons unit.
I know. It was a horrible model, I thought, because it's all in the same pose, and they come in, like, boxes of one.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
But yes, you're taking out a key part and not replacing it with a new model.
Yes.
I have been worried about them more recently, because we're still waiting on, like, Emperor's Children getting legends and support rules for the Horus Heresy stuff. Space Wolves still haven't got legends for, like, the Longfangs and the Wolf Scouts and these Hounds of Morkai that they made such a big deal about in the Index.
They did.
And now there's nothing. So where's the rules, Games Workshop? We're also waiting on Deathwatch rules for the Kill Team, the new Kill Team that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, I'm a big Necron player as well. That's another one of the ones that rotates in my favorite armies is Necrons. Where's the Necron rules as well for that new Kill Team with the Geomancer and stuff? It's strange. I don't know.
And then we had delays. I don't know, I'm getting very tinfoil hat, I know, but then we've had delays with the new detachments. They didn't come out in the balance patch. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll do them for next time. They weren't ready in time. What's happening with the rules writers? Are they quitting? Are they leaving 40k? Are they not being happy there?
Are they only doing 11th edition, so they're overworked?
Well, maybe if it's like, yeah, we're done with 10th edition, leave it behind, just keep going on 11th edition. Because
obviously Games Workshop is a very vertically integrated company. You know, they do most of their stuff internally, besides, I think, their books and things. I think that's in China.
Yeah, a lot of the printing is done abroad, in Spain, in China.
Right. And so I'm trying to figure it out, because I don't know, I hate to say this, but occasionally when I was on the Warhammer podcast, for a while when they had the balance data slates, I said the same thing over and over again. I was like, why are you not putting the numbers in the data slate? Like, I could do this. Like, I could do this in an hour and make this change.
And someone will, and it'll take 10 minutes, and then we have to share their version around online.
Right.
They're also still using red and green, which are bad for color blindness.
But they finally did. Awesome. Thumbs up. Glad. But I don't know why it took like 4 iterations.
Yeah. It was 6 months to a year before they started doing it. And then they did it for Age of Sigmar, but then not for 40k. And they're still getting things not quite right. If you've noticed the Sisters data slate, the previous one had Repentia go down by 10 points. And it showed the same number as before, but in green. This time, they've had the Imagifier go down by 10 points, but it's still showing 65 points, but in green. And then the app hasn't changed it down to 55. So it was showing us, oh yeah, it's green, it's gone down by 10 points, but it's showing the same points value as before.
These are things that you can do in a day. One person can go through this and proofread it in a day. The same, I mean, Tau, they had that enhancement change, right? And
was it like, this enhancement does nothing, but just 25 points?
Right. And I was thinking about that for like, if you go through every single codex in the entire game and every enhancement stratagem in the entire game to check if this new balanced asset change affects it, you can do that in like an hour.
Yeah.
It's not very difficult. You flip, no, flip, no, flip. And then Tau is like a gleaming red yes. And it's just, I don't know. It feels very bizarre because it's not a admirable project to be on. Like, this is a lot of work, no doubt, making all these armies and all these rules.
And then have to come up with rules which people are going to complain about anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thankless job.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's bizarre why these specific things are not being done properly.
Yeah.
Like if anything should be done properly, it should be these things because these are
Because
the
they
easy.
make a
This
whole
is the
thing
easy
of like,
parts,
this is the
right?
balance part. It's just slight editing to what we already have.
Yeah. I mean, and then don't even get me started on the app.
Well, I
Oh,
was going to think, is it to do with the app, perhaps? Is it because when they have to update it on all of these app stores and things that they're only allowed to do it so often, or it costs money to update it, and so they don't want to be charged so often, so they'll do like one change in 3 months and then do nothing else?
I
'Cause
mean,
it saves money.
if you had to pay $10 more, I guess for you it's maybe like seven quid,
Yeah,
a month to unlock every single codex, would you do that?
that seems kind of reasonable. For all of them,
I think
yeah,
so too.
considering I play or have models for about 10 armies, that works.
If they upped it to 10 or whatever dollars a month it needs to be, and then you just didn't have to buy the codexes and you got all the rules and you could study them all there, I have the feeling that they would absolutely make their money back tenfold.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
people are
something that
not
people going to tournaments would
buying.
use. I only play one army, they'd say,
Yeah.
but I want to know my opponent's rules. I want to be able to check them and look at them while they're doing it.
Absolutely. And especially because it's not people are not going to buy the codex to get the code. They are just circumventing it and going to Wahapedia every time.
Yeah,
And Wahapedia is not going to go down because it's a Russian
site.
thing. And yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't get access to that. And so until something happens with that, please pray that it doesn't. I just unlock everything for like an extra $5-10. I would 100% do it. In a sense, I'm gonna call it free money, but it doesn't cost you a codex.
Easier
It doesn't
money.
cost you, a physical like item. There's no overhead for that for the most part, besides some dev work. So I don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre to
Yeah.
me.
It feels a lot like Games Workshop is relying on us, like me and you and other particular people to say, okay, here's the rules that are not right. Especially at the start of 10th edition, where they
Yeah.
released it to us essentially unfinished and were like, hey, we don't need to play test this anymore. We have 100,000 people who will look over every single detachment, every single faction. There'll be faction experts who know what they're talking about and be able to find all of the problems within a week. And that's kind of what happened.
10th was. There's a rumor that 10th was made in like 6 months.
No, they'd been working on 10th for years. Like 2 to...
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Like, had a massive rewrite.
right.
Overhaul
It was
in the last 6
redone
months.
in the last 6 months,
Yes.
right.
There's a rumor. I mean, it's a rumor. It's unsubstantiated, but there were a lot of obvious glaring problems that makes it feel like there has to be a basis of some sort. And the beginning of 10th was particular. I mean, goodness gracious, just Eldar in general.
Yeah. There was the
Oh my
Deathwatch
goodness.
problem of, I'm going to have 500 shots all with mortal wounds.
Yeah. You'll love that special issue ammo. I know you're a Gladius fan for Deathwatch. I gotta be honest, I really like Black Spear. I don't know why.
I'm okay with Black Spear. It's just I have a more combat-focused Deathwatch army with veterans, which have the big hammers and the power swords.
Big hammers.
They're not
yeah.
firing their bolters very much.
That is true.
Other people are like, oh, you've got to do the Black Spear task force. I'm like, no, that's like 3 stratagems on gun. Make gun better in a different way. I want to be able to
Yes.
advance and charge, fall back and charge, fall back, shoot and charge, do all the things, stick lieutenants everywhere.
That is true, but Black Spear does have 2-unit uppy downy, which is pretty good.
It's nice. It is nice.
I don't know. I really like it. I really like having a Gravis captain in the Indomitor, and then just by doing so, freely taking him and like a 5-man Terminator squad. Just I don't know. It's fun. It can get pretty nasty. I like the 2 veteran squads. One with the Justiciar, one with the Watchmaster, and then just 2 rhinos. And I don't think I need much combat. I think they just slam most things in general. Though I guess. Is it Lance and +1 AP on the charge?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yes, that's one of the stratagems in the Gladius task force.
That's really good.
And if you can put, say, the Justiciar's squad into that combat doctrine for 1 command point, then you also have advance and charge. And against a combat army on the fight back, you fight first.
You do fight first.
I've just thrown that against orcs and been like, great, I'm going to take out 4 times their points worth and hold you up for a turn.
I hate how right you are, but like...
Hey, welcome to my comment section.
Hey, calm down now. It's like this alluring hand. Like, hey, all of these other detachments are cool, but Gladius.
I know. It's flexible. It's versatile.
It feels bad to me though taking it because it's too good. It feels too good.
Okay.
I don't know.
I see. This is more my feeling with like Genestealer Cult, where I rarely played the Host of Ascension. I played it in one or maybe two little tournaments, but most of the time I've been Xenocreed, and more recently I've been like, I'm going to play Brood Brothers Auxilia because of the Imperial Guard detachments. It's my favorite one.
I actually just made a list for Brood Brothers. I actually think it has some spice. I tried to make a it had like a Bane sword in it because
that's good. That's good. That works.
But I was doing this ridiculous kind of like mortal wound thing. So I had my Ridge Runners with my mining lasers. I had my 5 Aberrants, which can now be regen twice. Plus 2 more. And then I just had 2 Saboteurs, a couple of deep striking neophyte squads, and then the big Baneblade or the transport one with 2 Kasserkin, 2 Krieg Engineers. So it's just bombs, like just mortal wounds out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to add some Atlan Jackals in there as well?
I think I have 5 Jackals in there.
Yeah, because they do mortal wounds as well.
They do this.
It's great for taking out knights, any of the big demons, anything like that. Anyone who doesn't have a ignore mortals on a 5+ stratagem is going to suffer.
Yes, and then like even tank shock, like 13 dice on a Bane sword or whatever is at least 4 to 5 mortals.
Don't forget grenades, because you're not going to use your command points on anything else in that detachment. It's all tank shock, rapid ingress, and grenades.
Yes, there was one. I do like their in the Shadow of Iron strat, where you get to move your
move one of the blips.
Blip. Yes,
yeah.
I like how you both still call it blips because
I use the blip tokens, but yes, it's a blip.
It's a blip. Yeah, it's a blip. And moving that over there, I like a lot because then you can just bring in like your Aberrants again. And then just having the ability to have like 5 Aberrants and then 5 more Aberrants and then 5 more Aberrants. And considering the fact that GSC is basically all rapid ingress in a sense, it's like, rapid ingress, in the Resurgence. I don't know. It gives a guard, quote unquote, list a solid punch back.
You have combat effectiveness rather than just, okay, I'll send you 10 guardsmen and that should slow you down. And then after that, I'll send you another 10 guardsmen. But the third 10 guardsmen need to do an objective.
Yeah, and Bulgrin don't regenerate, so it helps out a lot. I do like that as a concept, definitely. I think it's got a good bit of spice to it.
The infantry is all Genestealer Cult. The tanks are Imperial Guard tanks, who are still good tanks.
Yeah, I mean, a Leman Russ is a Leman Russ.
I would say the basic Leman Russ is the best one, because you don't need orders for it. Full rerolls to hit on all of your attacks against enemies that control objectives.
I do agree. I think my favorite Leman Russ is actually the Vanquisher, though, because it's like 140 points.
Yeah.
Now, granted, its gun is nigh useless, but if you land it, hell yeah. But I like having just that level of beef, because at the end of the day, it's a giant las cannon, a las cannon, a hunter killer, a stubber, and 2 multi-meltas probably.
Yeah,
and
multi-meltas are plasma cannons, yeah.
Yeah, one of those. I think I like multi-meltas because I like to just occasionally you just gotta ram something with a Leman Russ tank, you know? Sometimes you just gotta charge your Leman Russ tank. And if I do, I want to shoot in combat.
Yeah, okay.
I do like Brood Brothers. I think you're onto something. I think there's a little spice in there. Though I do think currently I think Biosanctic might be the best now after the Diaslates.
No, I think it's Final Day. I very much think it's Final Day.
I forgot about Final Day.
Yeah. I know Biosanctic got a boost. Xenocreed also got a boost and is a bit more fun. Brood Brothers, there's 2 ways of running it. You can do it as pairing up all the units, and that's one way to do it. The other one is to forget the detachment rule, forget most of the stratagems, and just have infantry that's like pure strains with backed up by tanks. Final Day is great for lots of infiltrating Tyrannid characters. Yeah, you've got your Lictors. You can do Von Ryans. I'm not opposed to Von Ryans. You got Death Leaper, who is a character. You can use one of the stratagems when he's killed, and then enemies, you wound them or hit them easier. The new Raveners, because one of them's a character. So when that is destroyed, as long as you take that prime off last, that was a destroyed Tyrannid character unit. You can use that stratagem again. The enemy is easier to hit and wound. You've got gargoyles flying around just being near the enemy. So when you shoot at them or you charge them with your Genestealer Cult units, you get +1 to hit.
He has +1 to hit just for being near it. Or Brood Brothers is this whole song.
Oh yeah, you got to be within 18. Shoot them exclusively
18.
with a Imperial Guard unit. Then the Genestealer Cult get the +1 to hit. We're not the ones that need it.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
Pretend it's not
I try to ignore it as well. There is like a moment where when the Krieg engineers pop out and they bomb something else and they fire some shotguns at the one guy and all right, cool. My Ridge Runners are now hitting on 2s. Like there is that, but even so, it's kind of funky. I do like Xenocreed a lot. I think Xenocreed is one of the ones that's the hardest to play. Because it just requires a lot of really important movement shenanigans. You've
got to also be able to... You get extra models because you have extra resurgence points. So that's essentially an extra 75 points worth on your army. You've got to feed it to the enemy slowly. Just enough to pin them back, but so you have enough for turn 4 and 5. Because you can just throw everything at them, but it's all going to die. And it'll come back once, but then you'll have nothing for turn 4 and 5. And when I did a battle report with Paul, that's kind of what happened to his army. I ended up thinking I was going to play Xenocreed, but then he did the switcheroo and he's like, Christian's playing Centurions. Isn't that funny? Because he hates Centurions. So yeah, he ran out of models by turn 4 and 5.
Oh, I didn't realize you swapped our armies. Okay.
It was a whole thing he did for his channel. He was like, it's going to be funny, Christian. Do it, Christian. Like, all right.
I like Paul. Paul's a really nice guy. I like him a lot. He has a great energy. I mean, also due to the fact that he has to if he's going to run that many Centurions. Like, you have to have a good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can run lots of Exorcists, and I've done 60 Battle Sister army lists before, and it kind of works.
60 Battle Sisters is without a doubt one of my favorite tournament lists. I have gone 4 and 2 with that list all the time because nothing can often properly kill 10 separate 3-up save T3 1 wound models. And then you just have the rest hidden behind some kind of wall. And next thing you know, you're Hollowed Martyrs and you get a +1 to hit and wound, Melt-A-Gun, and Multi-Melta. And I just need 1 to sink for that Miracle Dice.
I was using Bringers of Flame just because then the sisters have that extra strength and we can advance and shoot. So I just get to the middle of the board and then, look at that. My Melters are strength 10. My Bolters are strength 5. I can actually hurt things. And splitting them with Immolators, you get lots of squads of 5. You get lots of Miracle Dice just from losing those units.
That is very true. I was never a big Bringers of Flame person. I've always been a big Hollowed Martyrs person.
I was never much of a Bringers of Flame person either. I'm more of an Army of Faith person.
So I do love Army of Faith, obviously because Sacred Rose. However, I could never make it work.
I'm on like a 60% win rate with it, which isn't ideal for a faction expert, but it works. I think the favorite tournament I went to was relatively recently, and it was 5 of the asymmetric missions. Just all 5 of them. So it was fun. It was very different, and I was playing against people who are like, I go to tournaments all the time. I'm amazing at tournaments. You put them in front of an asymmetric mission where you know who's going first, you know who's deploying first. It's not quite equal, and it throws them completely. And because I've been playing so long, I was able to adapt to it.
No, absolutely. And I feel like especially when you bring lists like that are just kind of different, like it's about playing the list, not less so playing the terrain and stuff. It can be kind of fun. I had a similar thing when I played Votann, like 60 Hearthkin warriors and just put them up there, do their stuff, let them go. I mean, some people just don't have the damage for that. They just can't break through it. And
that's
also,
how hordes
kind of shoot back.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you have got shoot back. And Hallowed Martyrs also has shoot back. If you don't kill 10 sisters, well, maybe you only kill 2 sisters. Oh dear, they're going to shoot back at you now with +1 to hit.
I like that a lot with Flamer Seraphim.
Flamer Seraphim.
Yeah, I was taking a 10-woman of Flamer Seraphim with a Canoness there for the -1 of the CP, and then they would they probably shoot some plink damage, like a heavy stubber or whatever, and the next thing you know, what's it, 8d6 hand flamers, which are normal flamers, come out and just torch whatever it is. It's pretty fun. I don't know.
See, my opponents have never let me do it on Seraphim. It's always been, I'm going to wipe them out entirely or not. And in Hallowed Martyrs, I'm much more small squads of Seraphim. Army of Faith, I'll have a big squad of 10, because you can line that out across most of the board,
big
and
-1
then
to hit thing.
yeah, if not half your army, if not your whole army, is now -1 to hit. Have fun, Votan, Orc, everyone, players.
Tau.
Yeah.
Well, no one plays Tau. Well, they might play Tau now. The Riptides are up again. Riptides.
And I hear that somehow Admech have gotten good.
Yeah, who would have guessed that slapping Oath of Moment on call would make the army substantially better?
There's finally enough points drops that the army is viable.
Apparently they're quite viable too. Also, I'm a big Dune Crawler fan. I love that model.
It is a nice model.
It's so funny.
Makes a good Genestealer Cult conversion.
That is true. That is very true. I will say, in the app when you pick a detachment, they have a little artwork on the top.
Yeah.
I love the Brood Brothers one where they have like all the flags and the lean rust tanks and they're running down. It's super cool. Deathwatch, I think, are also doing quite well. I know people are very feast or famine on Deathwatch.
They've had a boost recently, whereas previously they were on like 45% win rate at tournaments.
Right.
Now it's gotten a lot better because for the average Deathwatch army, you've gained nearly 100 points. That's a whole extra kill team. Well, a
whole extra 5 Deathwatch veterans.
5 Deathwatch veterans, yeah.
Right, okay. Because I was like, I think every kill team is 200 minimum.
Yeah, because the others are all like squads of 10.
Spectrus or whatever it is.
Spectrus is like 180. Fortis is 180 now. They've gone down a bit.
Yeah. Is Fortis 180?
Mm-hmm. And that's not bad for the
sorry. Fortis. Not, I was thinking Indomitus. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're still much higher.
Yes, because Indomitus is... See, that's why I'm Black Spear pilled, because I love the idea
just like
of
that one unit dropping
Indomitus.
in and shooting stuff.
Oh, yeah. Here's my sustain, here's my lethal, here's my precision, because I guess why the hell not at this point? Everything dies. +2 to strength. I love it. Same thing with... it makes Assault Bolters on the Inceptors really good for the Talon Strike.
Yes. Strength 7 bolters?
I don't think they get the +2.
Oh, no, the Talon.
I think it's just for the Indomitus.
I'm thinking that's the other one. That's right. They keep changing where the Inceptors exist. In 8th edition, they were in the Fortis kill team. Then they were in the Big Lads kill team. And now they're in their own separate flying kill team.
It's very unfortunate because one of my favorite parts of the entirety of Space Marine 2 was the opening. I love the Deathwatch part. Yeah. I love seeing a Corvus Black Star in action. I love the very obvious Space Wolf Deathwatch guy shouting on the Vox.
Ulfar, who may or may not be the same Ulfar from the Rogue Trader games.
I didn't even think about that, actually. That's a good point. It's such an obvious like Nordic name.
Yeah, it's still debated as to whether or not it is him or not. I don't know.
But I really like that part, and I assumed they would kind of give them a bit more of a lease on life because of that.
Yeah.
Same way they're doing with all the Ultramarine stuff, but I don't know.
And then suddenly it was like, bizarre. Okay, new codex coming out, Imperial Agents. There's your one Deathwatch kill team, called the Deathwatch kill team.
So one of the things that I mentioned, the project discussion, because Deathwatch, one of the things I really want to do with it is I wanted to, because I like Deathwatch because I think Space Marines are generally relatively boring. Not in their specific aspects, like Dante is awesome. The Lion and Dark Angels are very cool. Every individual chapter
is cool. It's the generic Space Marine.
The general Space Marines as a concept, yeah. And one of the things I really wanted to do was to make a Deathwatch army. But
You're in the right place.
I was what was that?
You're in the right place to learn about Deathwatch. Go on.
That is true.
Because as you might have noticed, this is the channel that focuses on Deathwatch, Adepta Sororitas, and the Genestealer Cult. This is why you subscribe. And you can help the channel by giving me tip money through Ko-fi. That link is in the description, as well as discount codes for brushes and affiliate links for cheaper Warhammer models compared to going through Games Workshop. There is also an option through the Ko-fi link for one-to-one coaching, which is very cheap, and I'll help you make army lists, I'll help you with your game plan, and with hobby projects for those armies.
The main thing I wanted to figure out was if I could find a way to make magnetizable shoulder pads.
There is...
Specifically the pads.
Okay, to swap out just to change the chapter, just for fun.
Well, that was the idea, is that because I would love, if I'm going to make a Space Marine army like Deathwatch, I want to make the ability to play any Space Marine army. And so if I were to, say, play Dark Angels one day, because I want to run the Lion, whatever it is, the Lion's going to be in Deathwatch now, it's going to have all the Deathwatch colors, etc. But I would love the ability to swap out the shoulder pad of the entire army with a Deathwatch one, or sorry, a Dark Angel one.
Right. Okay. I see.
So like these are not Deathwatch today. They're Dark Angels. They all have the Dark Angel shoulder pad, and then it could be the Blood Angel shoulder pad or the Fist shoulder pad. And so they're always still Deathwatch. They still have
you might just want to use something like blue tack, something that's adhesive, and just.
I was thinking blue tack. You know, I was also wondering if I could find a way to get a certain kind of resin that can work with push fit.
That's going to be very specialist.
That one is a little bit crazy. I would hire someone for that definitely to like model that. But if the shoulder pads have a little push fit, and then like the other shoulder pads, then you just kind of blue tack would be a thing. But then you have to blue tack it every time, and then it falls off and it loses its adhesive over time. And but like there's no real like curved magnet that works for a shoulder pad.
I know. It's always the problem. Same with transfer. Sticking a transfer on, it's a flat thing onto a curved area, and it doesn't work so well.
So it's a bit weird, but that was the main goal. The only other idea I thought might be kind of fun is magnetizing that arm.
Yes, magnetizing the arm and having an attached shoulder pad to specific arms. So your Thunderhammer is always going to be carried by the Wolf Spears character. And you can take that off and put on the Imperial Fist heavy frag cannon instead.
Heavy weapon.
Yeah, that's going to be the way you may have to do it.
That might be the way, but also just smaller things like, if I have a assault intercessor, and it's a Deathwatch 1, and it's all the normal Deathwatch stuff, but if I'm running it with Blood Angels, I just have like 5 different chainsword arms that all have different shoulder pads on them, and I just pick which one. But then that's a lot of hobbying.
It's a lot of parts as well.
Yeah. I need one of those like Amazon Basics like part holder things for all my bits. Actually, I think I have one right here. Yeah. I've been snipping out a lot of my extra bits. One of these little guys. You can just
I have something similar. I use that as a carry case for Battle Sisters because you can put a couple of Battle Sisters in each one and take them for a tournament.
That's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's very little room for them to bounce around in there.
Well, yeah. And then the back you just pad out with, foam padding. And then you have a separate box for like all of the Exorcists that you take.
You trying to tell me you played since 2nd edition? I'm shocked. That's actually really smart. You don't learn those hobbying tricks from people who started recently. That's like generational hobbying tricks and stuff. That's a really smart idea.
If you had got in with people who started in like 4th edition, it's all the Games Workshop carry case thing with the big foam inserts, and you cut it out and do it. I'm like way previous to that.
I hated that thing. I thought I think I still have one. The old Citadel one that has like the weird like wave wiggles in it. Yeah.
That
one's so goofy.
People still use them, and they take the models out of the box and they're like, "Oh, all of the spears are broken again."
But yeah, that was the idea originally of the Deathwatch thing, was that kind of thing, and just because then you can swap it around. I would love to play Blood Angels because I think they're cool. I think Sanguinary Guard are cool.
It's a fun detachment.
Painting up
rules.
And painting up black and red Sangard with like the Inquisition's a shoulder pad.
What I've done is far less complex. I've just said, okay, here's my Deathwatch army. Great, those are Vanguard veterans. They work really well as Blood Angels. We're just using the Blood Angels rules today. Because detachments these days are not tied to color scheme, saying this is a Blood Angel army but happens to be all black and with the Inquisition shoulder pad, most people are totally fine with that. And it's just a set of rules you're using. Yeah.
Oh no, so I have no issue. Like I know I could get away completely fine with how I adjust the proxies and those kinds of ways, or paint them up in those kind of schemes. I think it's more just for me. I think because this is the kind of project, Space Marine project. Yeah, it's like a personal thing, and I think it's also because if I do it this way and I can find a way to do the shoulder pads properly,
then you have every Space Marine chapter in one, even the Space Wolves, unfortunately.
Everyone, exactly. And then I can have my new Lysander that has the same look, and the Lion and Gilliman that are all Deathwatched out, and it looks super cool. Plus, I just like how pragmatic they are. It's okay. One thing I was considering was taking the Deathwatch kill teams and slapping them with different kinds of weapons. So they have the Thunderhammer guys.
Yeah.
I really want to give them like an Overlord's blade. Just because
you can do.
They do that,
The radical ones will do that. I don't do that. I don't even use Xenophase blades.
Puritan, eh?
Just for my Deathwatch. Other ones are maybe less pure.
I mean, I appreciate that you're sticking to a theme more than anything. Purical and radical inquisitors is a whole thing, and
Well,
Death
yeah.
Watcher, anything but the Inquisition's little friends. I do wish you could run like more. I wish Inquisitors weren't so expensive outside of agents, because an Inquisitor leading Deathwatch is a very, very lore friendly thing.
Yeah, and it's, not a bad idea, because an Inquisitor leading an Indomitable kill team, their Psychic Shockwave goes from Strength 3 to Strength 5. That's really nice. And whenever
really
you use a
nice.
stratagem on them, such as the up and down in the Black Spear Task Force, or the Ordo Xenos detachment, that gets refunded on a 3+.
That is a good point. That is a good point. I wonder, is there anything that particularly makes well, now that we're aware that Draxus is correctly leads it still, is there anything that makes her particularly nasty? I don't think.
Not
I don't
really.
think
It's the
so.
+1 to hit. A lot of people like it for the you can't shoot me over 18. So that can work with Fortis kill teams, but you're relying on the 2 indirect fire missiles.
That's true. And then I guess.
And +1 to hit.
Oh, right, because they can only lead battle line, right?
Yeah, so you can get around with the Fortis kill team, because anything that can lead intercessors can lead the Fortis kill team. Intercessors are battle line.
Okay.
Anything that can lead the heavy intercessors is how the Indomitable kill teams work. Heavy intercessors are battle line.
Oh, because they're also battle line.
Yeah. So since the Inquisitor can join those units, it can also join these Deathwatch units.
But it can't join like a Talon Strike.
No,
sorry, not Talon
the
Strike,
Spectrus one. Yeah, because those it's based on the infiltrators,
right,
which are not battle line.
That's actually a very fun and very fluffy. That's the thing I like about Deathwatch a lot. It's a very fluffy army. Now, it's a little bit too much in their whole fancy ammunition thing. I would like a little bit less time spent in the fancy ammunition.
Especially fewer command points. I was waiting and hoping for some other detachment for them. Just something that isn't... Or like the Combat Patrol. In the Combat Patrol rules for Deathwatch, there is one stratagem, which is you get these 3 bonuses for your ammunition. And having it just as one stratagem worked much nicer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or at least, if anything, like having it just be special issue ammunition and say pick one of the 3.
Yeah, exactly. They do that with so many other things. Gain sustained hits or lethal hits is how others work, but gain, one of a unit of 3. One of a list of 3.
That's a little bit, it's a little bizarre. I don't know. I would like more about that kind of stuff. The Deathwatch itself is, like, I can see why they would only ever have one detachment for Deathwatch, but I wish it was a little bit more of a fleshed out detachment.
I mean,
and I also wish it wasn't so related
but
to
one for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish that it was a little bit less, gun Gladius. It's
yes, it is a lot like Gladius, considering like 2 of the stratagems, 3 of the stratagems maybe are functionally the same. One of the special issue ammunition is basically the Devastator stratagem. Ignore cover, +1 AP.
And you could... Oh, no, you can't stack them. That's right.
You can't. That's another thing about these being separate stratagems. You can't combine them.
Which would be fine if you just made them all into one, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. And then
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess there's also always the feeling that people also have, like with Grey Knights, where Deathwatch are so anti-Xeno specifically that you can have some feels bads sometimes. But honestly, they don't really focus on that too much, which I think is probably for the right call. You don't want...
Then you've got the Imperial Agents problem of these are super
which one?
One of the many Imperial Agents problems, the super focused detachments. I think of the Hereticus one. You get ignore cover on some units, and you get sustained hits, but only when attacking Chaos units with 5 or more models. That's too specific.
Right, it's 5 or more models, isn't it?
Yes, it's not just sustained hits on Chaos, it has to be Chaos Hordes.
That's so bizarre.
And Grey Knights, when they're fighting demons in the Ordo Malleus detachment, not only are you only getting Grey Knights Terminators, one of their stratagems forces a leadership test, and that means the demons can generate more demons.
Regenerate.
Yeah, well done. The Grey Knights force more demons to appear. They just wanted all the demons. The Ordo Xenos is actually usable comparably, and has different things for the lethal hits and sustained hits are on critical hits, but then in the Ordo Xenos task force, it's on the critical wounds for precision. Maybe it just lets flamers be precision, but I can't see how that would be super special.
Yeah, that's very, very strange.
But it will then work with the special ammunition, because I have done that before. The is it the Hellfire rounds? So it's anti-infantry 2+, and critical wounds are now precision. then you can actually hit some enemy characters.
Right, but I thought it's only critical hits that give you precision.
In the Deathwatch Adepta Sororitas version, it's critical hits.
Oh,
in the Imperial Agents version, it's critical wounds. That's where the difference is. So weirdly, they have a more usable like precision option, whereas the Adepta Sororitas version, you're like, well, I haven't used it yet, so I might as well.
Well, it's also bizarre too because it's not like Deathwatch are doing poorly. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, they're actually doing quite well right now.
Suddenly, they're doing better. Having an extra unit will help.
It will. Though I also do wonder if I think it's also like a sample size thing. You know, like there's such a small amount of Deathwatch players.
And you're looking at tournament players. So the people who are very confident and happy with Deathwatch will be playing Deathwatch. It's like how Bringers of the Flame, when I got the penalty in December 24, that was then, okay, people dropped Bringers of the Flame, except for a couple of people who kept playing it competitively, and they're on like a 55, 60% win rate because they've kept with it. They know how to still make it work.
You actually have me kind of chuff on the 6 Battle Sisters with Bringers of Flame. That sounds really funny and actually sounds like it would be a genuinely great time. I never really thought about that because everyone only did it with castigators and Vol and suits.
Okay. Add in immolators, then you've got your transport. You can use all your transport detachments. That also increases the number of sister units, and you're looking at like 9 sister squads.
Yeah, if you do all Dominions.
Well, you could do Dominions. Dominions are an option. Battle Sisters are a little bit cheaper. You're still splitting them into some with bolters and the simulacrum and the ones with the special weapons.
Yes, but what if I do 3 Dominions and 6 battles? What if I do 90 girls?
90 sisters? Yeah.
90 sisters. Advance and shoot, +1 strength.
Then you've got some points left for like an Imagifier to lead one of the squads and some immolators. Yeah.
Yeah, and no money.
Of course.
Yeah,
it depends.
No money.
I found the best money-saving tip is to start playing 20 years ago.
Oh, that is unfortunately, they will all be metal.
Hey, I like my metal sisters. I just get told, oh, if base size matters, I'm not going to rebase my metal sisters because they're slaughter bases and they fit perfectly in the 25 millimeters. They look silly on 32. So I'm happy with 25. And then it's like having them sit on top of another base if I'm going to take them to a tournament.
I'm honest to God, I'm not a big fan of the Castigator.
I don't like the model.
So I do like the model. I don't like tanks for my sisters. It's just not the vibe I like with the sisters.
Well, what about the Exorcist?
Penitent engines.
Oh, Exorcist. I love the Exorcist. Best tank in 40k.
That's artillery piece. That's different.
Oh, well, it's only recently become an artillery piece. It wasn't in all the other editions. It was direct
I know. It was very stupid how it was before. But unfortunately, I don't like the Exorcist either. So I love the Exorcist as a tank. It's gorgeous. I love running it. But because it's artillery, it's like 200 points, and I hate that. It doesn't feel good. I'll take 1. I can push for 2, maybe. I like being able to, say, hit the enemy's home objective. They have like 5 Space Marines there. I'll kill half of them, and then when the Seraphim drop in, they can kill 2 remaining Space Marines, and now I have your home objective. Or it's useful for hitting like the lighter vehicles, the Hell Brutes that keep the Pact-bound Zealots going. Units like that. Anything that's toughness 9. So long as you don't have infiltrators in the back, because then you got your Seraphim aren't coming in.
And I hit them with the Exorcist a second time.
I do. You know what? I do think Celestine might be something to look at again as well, especially with the buffs.
She got a little points drop.
Yeah. Well, and also Zephyrim got their rules upped.
You can do shenanigans with Celestine alone because she's not an attached unit, and so you can assign wounds to the Celestine model, and then she gets a 4+ feel no pain as long as the Gemini are alive.
That is true. However, I do really like the Zephyrim rule with the sustained and lethal.
Yeah, sustained and lethal.
They have the banner thing.
Oh yes, reroll charges and reroll advance rolls.
Yeah. See, I like that a lot. I do like that a lot. You got me kind of thinking about this Bringers thing, but no, I can't. I'm trying to do my guard stuff right now. And I also got to do my Brew Brothers, and I got to do my Deathwatch.
Oh, I know. Eventually, with the Combat Patrol magazine as well, is just a desk piling up with, oh, here's some new stuff, and then when we get around to the Genestealer Cult, I'm going to get even more acolytes. Then I can do a heavy acolyte or metamorph. I can do more metamorphs. I was the person who was trying to get metamorphs to work in the index, Genestealer Cult index, when they were like slightly more points than acolytes. And I kind of got something out of them. If you put them on the mid board, then they'll die and fight on death on a 3+. That's how they worked in the index.
Wait, I thought it wasn't metamorphs. I thought metamorphs were the ones that had surge move. I thought it was.
They do now. In the codex, they do.
Flamer acolytes have the rerolls, don't they?
Yeah. In the index, the metamorphs were fight on death on a 3+.
Oh God.
Yeah. So.
Oh jeez. Though they did get cheaper. I think metamorphs and brood surge might be something out as well.
Yeah.
Though I know they're
touch of biophagus.
How far down did they go?
They're 140 now for 10.
That's pretty cheap.
It is very good. Yes.
14 points a model. They can all have hand flamers. Though you could do auto pistols if you want the fun surge.
I'm kind of either way on it. If anyone says I want the hand flamers or I want the auto pistols, I'm like, great, carry on. I like the hand flamers coming out of a truck because then you get the full rerolls to wound, which is something the metamorphs wouldn't get. Otherwise, I like the auto pistols. It's rare that I think I'm going to charge this unit because that's where I do the damage. However, if you die from pistols, I don't get the movement, which is the important thing when you're charging. So I rarely I'll just stick with auto pistols. You're going to hit me. You're surge moving. Oh, great. I'm just outside of an objective. Now I'm on the objective and killing you.
What are your thoughts on, I know in Xenocreed they get reroll advance and charge if they have the character in it.
Yep.
Would you normally stick an acolyte icon ward with them or?
For Xenocreed specifically, if I want to do a shenanigan where I put them in a truck, then the whole truck can scout as long as everything inside has scout. So that's where you need the icon ward. Then you can get out. Then you can advance and charge with either an enhancement, incendiary inspiration, or as one of the stratagems, tireless fervor. And then you have full rerolls on your advance roll and your charge roll. You can get to like the very rear of the enemy's backline with that.
And then you have a nasty Overwatch threat if they try to get back to you.
The hand flamers are there to also get rid of like a front screen, and then you get into the enemy's thing. So you can get onto the enemy's home objective in turn 1 very easily.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
It's
then,
just
of course,
knowing when to use that or not. That's the thing.
Right. Is the Xenocreed, is that the one that gives you everything +1 attack and hazardous?
Yes. +1 weapon skill, +1 attack, and hazardous on acolytes or metamorphs or neophytes in combat.
Gotcha. And is that all of their melee, or is it just the mining tools?
It's all of the melee weapons. It affects everyone except the character models.
Character models, okay. I mean, on a metamorph specifically, that extra attack goes a long way. Is there any way to give you extra AP in melee? Because you are only AP 1.
Only with the Ridge Runner. That's the only way.
I thought Ridge Runner was only for the shooting phase.
No. If you look again at the Ridge Runner, then it's until the end of the turn. That changed from the index to the codex. It's why the Ridge Runner is so much better than like the Eldar version and other things that are like, oh yeah, I get an extra AP. If you look at it.
Oh no, maybe I would have gone 5 and 1. Oh no. Yeah. Achilles Ridge Runner abilities until the end of the turn. Oh, goodness gracious. Many a times I have charged the knights and stuff like that with. Yeah. Wait, hold on. That's actually extremely powerful, especially because you're doing ignores cover with if you don't use the spotter. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
That changed from the index to the codex. I was one of the people who noticed and was like, take 10 Ridge Runners right now, or as many as are available.
Yeah. That's actually what. That makes Biosanctic so much better too, because you got AP3 on the Aberrants.
You use the mortars, and because of so much of your stuff is infiltrating, like the Genestealers, like one of the Aberrant units with an enhancement,
right? You're
behind walls immediately. But the mortars will keep giving you that extra AP. AP3, Aberrants, and Genestealers.
Okay, that 5 and 1 was in my grasp. Damn, I did not realize that. Okay. Well, now I really have some ideas on
this is why you need to, if you're going to play Genestealer Cult, you've got to watch the
Ridge Runner has gone up. But,
yeah, it's only gone up by a little bit. It's still worth taking. Very worth taking.
Oh, yeah, I would still take at least 2. I don't think I would do 3, but I don't think 1 is enough either. So I think definitely 2.
It depends on the weapons, depends on the detachment.
Yeah.
I like the heavy
if we're
mining
taking
laser.
mortar runners, I think I would take 2.
Yeah.
maybe.
Biosanctuary
I don't know.
Brute Surge. I could see 3 because one of them will stay on the home objective and just fire the mortar from your deployment zone to the enemy deployment zone.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how many fronts you need to be on, or at least where you need to apply the AP. Because I can imagine certain scenarios like if the aberrants are running up against knights and you want to beat an armiger to death, you don't need the extra AP. But you would. Well, no, actually, you would actually want the extra AP. But it depends on. It depends. Depends on what you're fighting.
Yeah,
I think.
I tend to get away with 2 Ridge Runners, and that's fine.
I had 2 Ridge Runners in my day.
You've got to be really careful to not get them killed in like turn 1 or 2.
Yes. I normally keep them as home field and like screens for the back line, just for that reason.
It's much easier to do with the mortars. I'm using the heavy mining laser so I can have ignore cover and then hitting thing, and I'm breaking open tanks like rhinos for the Genestealers, the Metamorphs, to kill the guys inside.
I'm assuming you're firing the heavy stubber at those and then the laser somewhere else.
Yeah, because if you fire the heavy stubber at something else, maybe I just I'll apply the AP with the heavy stubbers. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
I mean, it's basically how you do it with a hellhound or an immolator as well. Right?
Yeah, just one weapon.
Similar kind of thing.
Heavy bolter applying ignore cover with the this is the battle immolator. Yeah,
that's really fascinating. That makes Metamorph so much stronger in my eyes, because every time I saw the AP1, I was like, not enough.
No.
Not enough. But no,
rarely take aberrants because I think Metamorphs are going to do the same thing. Similar AP, similar strength. It's more than 4, which is often what you need, and it's still damage 2.
I do think though that you will need aberrants on occasion to just have like an anchor. They are tough.
Well, I rarely play the Biosanctuary Brood Surge anymore. I've done the whole infiltrating thing. I do better with it in Final Day than Biosanctuary Brood Surge. Instead, my anchor is just throw more bodies at the problem until the problem goes away.
And then bring bodies back from the problem.
Yeah. And to be the problem for the enemy.
That's very true. I do a similar thing when I play Sisters for that same reason, where if once you have like 3 Sisters left in the squad, that is a fine thing to charge a Forge Fiend with, because there's a good chance their little fee stomps are not gonna. They have no AP. You got 3 ups.
Yeah,
like you'll be fine. Some tank will not really like ram you very well as it would against guardsmen. And that does help. But I don't know. It's
you got +1 to wound in Hallowed Martyrs with those 3 Sisters. You might do a wound.
Yeah. You might just kind of uppercut something small. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens. And I mean, hey, you could always miracle dice it. That power sword weapon, you might just like, hey, I'll take a 5. Blah.
Yeah, if you got the spare ones. You got the spare ones.
Yeah,
I seem to be very low on miracle dice at the moment. Yeah, even Army of Faith. I mean, Hallowed Martyrs can potentially get you more miracle dice with all of the enhancements you've got.
You do have a lot. I mean, Army of Faith, you're drowning in them.
You should be. It hasn't quite felt like that, but you can be. If you keep failing your leadership tests on Litanies of Faith, you're not going to get it. If the enemy passes their battle shock test from your beautiful, beautiful Hospitaller, then you're not getting a miracle dice from that. If you can't get the St. Eleanor's Blade into something, you're not getting miracle dice on that.
That's true.
And I do keep forgetting every now and then, oh yeah, I've done the extra AP, I killed a thing, I get a miracle dice. Come on. I've played this so many times.
I mean, that's how I felt with 9th edition sometimes with Sisters. I was like, oh, right, I got one thing because I did a handstand and I balanced plates in my hand. That's right, I get 2 more miracle dice.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I've been Chalice. I always remembered, like, toss this, get a 6, toss this, get a 6.
That's right. Right.
That kind of stuff. I gotta get rolling this. So I'm going to a narrative event
good.
in Atlanta for in November, and that's what I want to do Deathwatch for. Because I wanted a very fluffy army. I wanted something like my own project. I want something more narrative focused, and so I really wanted to do that one. And so that's in about a month. So I got a little bit. I don't got great timing, but Deathwatch are not too high on the model count, and Space Marines are very common.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can probably pull it off. The list I have is pretty. I mean, Deathwatch lists all look relatively similar.
It's annoying for that. I haven't been able to say, oh yeah, here's a new list for the new Deathwatch thing. It's like, no, you've still got Terminators, like 2 squads of 5 Terminators, 1 or 2 Indomitor kill teams. Does people making Fortress kill teams work? I'm less keen on them because I'll just rely on Deathwatch veterans. But you're still taking Deathwatch veterans with a Judicia, with a Watchmaster.
Also, yep, that's basically exactly my list. It's Gravis Captain Endometer, Watchmaster with 10, Judiciary with 10, 1 Rhino, 2 5-man Terminators. I think the funny combi weapon lieutenants, of course.
Yes.
I think it's like a Talon Strike. I think I got 5 intercessors, and now granted, I am taking a Land Raider. That's my hey, this is not purely meta. I want to have a little bit of fun with it. So 10 of the guys with Judiciary.
Yeah.
I mean, it went down a little bit, you know.
But jumping out of a Land Raid is very good, and they're very difficult for most opponents to take down.
Yeah, and also you never feel good. Like, I spent all these points taking on a Land Raider. Like, you don't really feel like you accomplished much by doing so. It's not like you killed a Repulsor Executioner or something. But, you know.
Yeah. The problem you'll find with Deathwatch is that army list lasting another 6 months. Because after that, they're going to do 11th edition, would do a whole redo of the kill team system once more. Inceptors are now in this 5th kill team that you've never even heard of. The Inception kill team, and they'll bring in Aquila kill team. And
yes, and the Space Marines get 4 new Gravis models that are all going to come out that they all get mixed into kill teams with. And you see, that's why I want to do the shoulder pad thing. Because eventually I'm going to get sick of playing Deathwatch, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm playing Blood Angels. Slap it on. Yeah. Here's Dante. They're part of the Inquisition for some reason. Who cares?
It's gonna look very Black Rage. That's the only comment you get. But yeah.
Yeah, these are my Inquisition Death Company Blood Angels. You know. Plus, I'd love to 3D print a really cool helmet for the Lion. You know what? I'll give him like a Scion mask. Like I love the look of Scions with the 2 Jinro looking golden or glowing eyes and the mask. Oh, so funny. I hate Space Marine 2. I know it'll sell well. That game sold great. The models are going to sell great. Calgar, in my opinion, looks great. But he also came out in like 2018, so he's an infant in terms of models. So
yeah. There's quite a few things that could be updated. I was looking at the Eldar range and it was like, Warp Spiders, they are 32 years old, aren't they? And it's like, yeah, that's the same models.
They got updated. I'm happy for that. The Eldar range got an amazing refresh, so I'm really happy about them. But
and they also look at the same time, basically the same, which I like.
They do. But they look, and then a couple like Fugit and stuff just got that updated.
Yeah,
it looks so good,
and are much bigger. But then people that I know have been using the 3D models versions of them for about 5-10 years.
Yeah,
as long as 3D printing has been around, or alternate sculpts, or like Victoria Miniatures, where they print you something and then send it to you in a box. That's how it worked 10 years ago.
That's true. It's goofy, but it makes sense. Plus, also, what is it? There are certain. I mean, I just don't know why they're not remaking Trazen, for example. Like that's money right there. They remade Orkin. Like
yeah.
I went to I picked up on a little bit when I was taking my time in the UK, but the only reason I mention is because they have like the best-selling books section in Warhammer World when I went to go visit, and I'm pretty sure number 1 has been bounced between Infinite and Divine and Horus Rising like consistently forever. And so you assume they would make the new Trazen. You just would assume.
It depends if they think, can we get the people who buy the book to buy the model, and then will it be a Black Library only model, which is going to upset the people who play the game? You have things like Sister Superior Aveline and Hell's Last. Yes. And it's like, these are great models, but then they have the little Legends tag, and people are like, well, I hate it now.
I was very sad that my Uftak was also the same deal. But then sometimes they just let you use them, like Gaunt's Ghosts. And Gaunt's Ghosts is a flavorful and very good model. Like it's a staple in all my lists. They're great. So I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Oh, yeah, you saw this when you were in Nottingham because you've been in the UK recently. So in the UK, did you have a favorite kind of tea?
No. Because I was doing a lot of filming, I mainly stayed in travel lodges.
Well, they have a kettle in the travel lodge. It's like considered a human right in the UK that when you're in a hotel, you get a kettle.
That is true. It tasted like tea.
Good. Fine.
It was Earl Grey. It was fine.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good
it was
one.
okay.
That's a good one.
It was all right.
Fish and chips? How do you find fish and chips? You must have had fish and chips.
I had fish and chips. Fish and chips were solid. They were solid. The thing I learned about the UK is that people who say the food is bad in the UK are both right and wrong simultaneously.
Oh.
I think I think the general baseline of food quality is okay, maybe not great. Like if you go to a random pub and you get like ham and chips and stuff, it's not seasoned. It doesn't taste particularly great. But I went to an old like 1700s pub.
That's called modern in the UK.
Oh, sure. It's I had a rabbit and bacon pie with mash, and it was the best thing I've had the entire trip. It was phenomenal.
Well, let's have to specialize in it, yeah. Otherwise, if you want good fish and chips, you need to come up north, and that's where we actually have the good fish and chips. You need to be around Whitby area to get proper fish.
I mean, it's the same way in the States, right? The best fish and chips I've ever had in the States was in Maine, way northeast, which is like known for their seafood. So it made sense. I mean, I went to some like nice restaurants when I was out there in the UK, and it tasted pretty damn good. Things were solid. I went to I don't. Where are you in the UK?
Yeah, so I'm in the northeast, so up near Newcastle, Sunderland, Durham.
Okay. How much of a trip is that from Nottingham?
We're talking 3.5 hours, maybe a bit more.
Okay, gotcha.
Like Nottingham is the middle of the country, and I'm up at like the Scottish border.
Okay, I was about to say, but you're not in Scotland. You're like in the border from Scotland.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The Scottish marches.
Is that what they call it?
Not really, but the Welsh marches exist. The Scottish marches are more like the people from my area would go and fight in France, and the people from York would travel north to fight the Scottish.
Okay. I don't like Greg's.
Oh, hey, that's fine. I know lots of Greg's alternatives. It's a big northeast chain. Like, be proud of Greg's. And I'm like, I know so many local places that are just better and cheaper.
My favorite, to round this out, my favorite interaction in the UK by far was, it was 7 a.m, and I was over in, I believe I was in Chippenham.
Yep.
And I walked out to a Greg's and I ordered coffee. Terrible. And I got a BAP. I had no idea what a BAP was, and it was 2 very sad looking sausages, a flabby piece of bacon on a roll. And the guy was there. And I noticed something very interesting about in the UK is that the service workers there are not mean. They just don't really give a shit.
Well, yeah, considering how much they're paid, we expect that.
Right, which is totally like, it's fine. I got no problems with it, but obviously in America, there's this very kind of like strange
thank you, sir. Thank you for coming into my
it.
establishment, sir. You're so kind, sir, to give me this money that goes straight to my boss, and I get 12 pence of that.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a different dichotomy. I only mention it because it's different. Not that it's like good or bad. But I found it very funny because the service, the guy behind the counter was like, "Do you want any sauce with the BAP?" I'm like, "What sauce do you have?"
Red or brown?
He said ketchup and brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, ketchup and brown. And I was like, in my head, I was like, what is brown sauce? And so I asked him, like, I was like, what's brown sauce? And he looked at me dead in the eye and he was like, it's fucking brown sauce, mate. and I was like, thanks, dude. I don't know what that means. I'll take the brown sauce. And it was pretty tasty. It was like a tangy barbecue. Sweet.
Yeah.
But it was like, how dare I not know what brown sauce is? It was very funny.
It's off-brand Worcestershire sauce. Is how you should
yeah. It was good. I mean the sauce was good. The BAP was whatever, but it was I did have a sausage roll. It was fine.
Good.
It was fine. It was all right.
Hey, you're getting your staple British food. That's fine. That's great. That'll work.
It was good. I mean, I will say I spent a lot of the time in the countryside when I was out there. And I was not loving it. Seeing Union Jack Mini Coopers ripping around roundabouts at a speed they should not be going at cobblestone roads was very surprising. But once I got to Nottingham, I definitely am more of a city person. Once I got there, I was like,
and it's Nottingham, so you did a pilgrimage, of course, which is known as the pilgrimage.
I was in Nottingham downtown. I was drinking from 2 p.m. all the way to like 10. I was having a blast. I spent a bunch of time in London.
We have a lot higher alcohol content as well than you may be used to in like the average American cider or beer. Because we normally call like American beer, it's like sex on a boat. As in it's fucking
near water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that one. No, it's so true. American beer sucks ass. It's terrible.
Right.
It's terrible. No, I had a great time. Also a hilarious thing. when I go to game stores
Mm-hmm.
in the US,
Yep.
I'm not trying to suck my own dick. I very often get recognized there because of Warhammer, etc. When I was in the UK,
Yep.
it was so funny because when I was in Warhammer World, when I went to the game stores nearby, not one person, nobody, nothing. Every time I went to a pub, I was recognized. I was only recognized in the pubs. It was so funny. And they were all lovely people, but it was so hilarious that none of the game stores, but the moment I was at a Spoons, it was instant. It was so funny, man.
Right.
Excuse
Do you have
me.
any
But,
other projects you want to mention coming up in the next 3 to 6 months? You want to be like, hey guys, I'm doing this?
I mean, that big tour video is being worked on. It's probably going to be in December or something. It keeps getting pushed back due to various things, but working on that. Big history of 40K, a big one from like the first edition on, and then how to get into the hobby, how to play, how to tournaments, kind of breaking some stereotypes. You know, tournament players being assholes. Which
I've done a video. I did a video with Paul on that.
Yeah, everyone's great. You just get a couple of bad offenders that keep coming around, and people don't want to ban them, which is very annoying. But and then from there, just kind of moving along. I don't know. I'm just doing stuff. So yeah,
keep on
that's
going.
it.
Nice. And anywhere you would like to be found, like digitally, like to be found?
Just Bricky on everything. Just look up Bricky. It's fine. That's all you need. Thank you again so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. This has been fun. As the names of my Ko-fi and YouTube supporters scroll by, you can continue listening to me talk by clicking on this video next. It's that tournament video I just mentioned that I did with Paul, where I talk about what it's actually like to go to tournaments. My darlings and viewers, have a great day of 40K.